Pleasant morning to each and everyone again. Welcome to our subject, Government Accounting. And our discussion for this day is all about investment property. And these are the different learning objectives. Number one, define investment property and give examples. Number two, state the initial and subsequent measurements of an investment property. Number three, account for the impairment of investment property and the reversal thereof. Investment property, how do we define? Is land and or building held for rentals or capital appreciation. So pwede pong iparenta, pwede mo rin pong binili para tumas pang kanyang value, guys. Examples, land held for long-term capital appreciation rather than for short-term sale in the ordinary course of operations. Land held for a currently undetermined, so hindi mo po alam kung ano yung paggagamitan po niya. A building owned by the entity and leased under the one or more operating leases on a commercial basis. D, a building that is vacant but is held to be leased out under one or more operating leases. Letter E, property that is being developed, constructed or developed for future use as an investment property. The following are not considered investment property: biological assets and mineral rights and mineral reserves. So, huwag niyo pong ilagay as an investment property itong mga ito, guys. Property held for sale in the ordinary course of operations. Property being constructed on behalf of third parties. Property held for future development and subsequent use as owner-occupied property. Property occupied by employees. What do you mean by occupied, guys? So, naninirahan po sila. Owner-occupied property awaiting for disposal. Property that is leased to another entity under a finance lease. What do you mean by finance lease again, guys? So, paunti-unti po niyang binabayaran hanggang maging sa kanya po. Property held to provide a social service and which also generates cash inflows. Property held for strategic purposes. Property held for use in the production or supply of goods or services for administrative purposes. How do we measure this investment property? An investment property is initially measured at cost. The measurement of cost depends on the mode of acquisition. Mode of acquisition, cash purchase. Purchase price plus direct cost necessary in bringing the asset to its intended condition. Installment purchase, cash price equivalent. Letter C, non-exchange transaction fair value at acquisition date. Letter D, self-construction, direct materials, labor, and construction overhead. Subsequent measurement, investment properties are subsequently measured at least cost less accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment losses. Note, the fair value model is not allowed for government entities. So I hope na po natin, guys, kung ano yung mga gagamitin nating mga ways on how do we measure our different assets, liabilities, and other accounts, guys. Kasi may specific talagang inadapt po si government po. Transfers to or from investment property shall be made only when there is a change in use. A government entity accounts for transfer to or from investment property at cost. Accordingly, no gain or loss shall arise from the transfer except when the transferred asset is impaired po. Anong sabi ulit dito, guys? So, himay-himayin po natin. Transfer to or from investment property shall be made only when there is a change in. So, magbabago po ang kanyang gamit, guys. Okay? A government entity accounts for transfer to or from investment property at cost. Okay? So, at cost, guys. So, wala pong gain or loss po except daw kapag na-impaired po. I know, alam niyo po what I mean by impaired po. Like, for example, sa Kalabaw, once na napilayan po siya, yung gamit po niya is mai-impaired, guys. The recognition and investment property is recognized when it is disposed or when it is permanently withdrawn from use and no future economic benefits or service potential is expected from its disposal. The difference between the net disposal proceeds, if any, and the carrying amount is recognized as gain or loss in surplus or deficit. What I mean by derecognize, aalisin na po sa libro, guys. Impairment, an asset is impaired if its carrying amount exceeds its recoverable amount. The excess represents impairment loss which shall be recognized in surplus or deficit. Recoverable amount is the higher of an asset's fair value less cost to sale and value in use. Kung ano yung mas mataas po sa kanila po. Si fair value less cost to sale or si value in use. Value in use is the present value of the estimated future cash flows expected to be derived from the continuing use of an asset and from its disposal at the end of its useful life. So, reversal of impairment, anong sabi po dito guys? Shall not result to a carrying amount and exceeds of the asset's carrying amount. So, hindi po siya lalampas guys. Had no impairment loss been recognized in prior periods. So, hindi po siya lalampas once that you will reverse that. Okay, reversal of impairment loss. Compensation from third parties for an investment property that was impaired, lost, or given up shall be recognized in surplus or deficit when the compensation becomes receivable. What do you mean by receivable, guys? Magiging utang po. Okay? So, I hope na po natin. Receivable is kaninong utang po. Okay. So, alam niyo po yan. That is an asset, guys. Okay? So I hope may natutunan po tayo for this day related to our topic, investment property. Kaya mahalaga po na dapat you will master your fundamentals. Same with the financial reporting po. Okay? So thank you and God bless you. That ends our lesson, guys. Any question, you can comment down or PM me po para masagot ko po ng maayos po. Thank you again and God bless.